Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B-Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to the Friday Night Chop Session with Stormy B-Man for this Friday, January 2nd, 2026. Welcome, everybody, to the new year, and welcome to another episode of the Chop Session. This is number 212 in the series of Chop Sessions. We were looking to multi-stream across the channels as well as Rumble, but as of when I went live, Rumble is not acting, it's not connecting, so we're here on the main channel for this evening, and I will upload the show to Rumble after it finishes processing when we finish the show. I apologize for any inconvenience to any expectations, but sometimes it's just a little bit beyond my control because everything was a go before I hit the live, and I can see that there is not correspondence or even cooperation. So rather than panic or hit the panic button, we just hit that button to keep moving straight ahead. The title of this evening's show is Serrano versus Tellez, the unified featherweight title being held in San Juan, Puerto Rico this weekend and tomorrow evening, to be exact. The weigh-in for the event was today, earlier this afternoon, early evening. And from what I gather, the early weigh-in saw that Reina Tellez needed another attempt to hit the scales. I really don't know what's going on with all of these fighters not being able to make weight, man. It is showing a true lack of professionalism across the board with the sport, whether it be the men's division or women's division of boxing. Professionalism has fallen off a great deal. After making many strides to become better, the women have really closed the gap in competitiveness. But the problems remain the same for the sport as a whole. We've seen it with people not making weight properly, looking to have some type of advantage going into a fight where they do the last of a hard cut just a day or so, little over a day before the weigh-in, and some of them are miscalculating, even to the degree that they are popping dirty for banned substances, which help cut weight. And that's one of those things that, again, when you have someone who is enrolled in the anti-doping program, it's not going to bode well for you. So we have a fight, but not without a small hiccup. I don't know what to make of it with these young folks of today. I can't recall during the past era where you would see so many fighters having trouble with the scales. Many of these people are competing at what I call artificial weights. Just because you can cut weight off and get on the scale and be able to weigh in at a contracted weight for a particular fight and a title that may be on the line doesn't mean that's your weight. And there should be a more strict penalty to violators because it's becoming a norm now. and apparently the slaps on the wrist that certain individuals are receiving, it's not enough to make them get more disciplined or to drive them to the proper weight class where they need to compete. Amanda Serrano has held that featherweight division down for well over a decade, and she is one of the most prominent fighters in women's boxing, a first ballot Hall of Famer guaranteed, and she is someone who has always been a trailblazer and someone who looks to set the example in women's boxing. One of the reasons that she's no longer undisputed but just unified now is because she gave up the WBC title when Stormbman and his cast of clowns decided to make it certain that they would not endorse 3-minute, 12-round championship fights for their title. So she gave up that title belt, and she will fight I think this fight will be a 3-minute 10-rounder. I think it will be, but don't quote me on that. But she has already fought in 3-minute round bouts with her title on the line. And we just saw coming out of a little over a week ago where we saw Alicia Baumgardner defend her title for 3-12. There are women who want to do this, and they want to be, they want to be out there and defend with everything on the line. Now, Tellez, she did not really make the weight, so the titles will be on the line only for Serrano to retain. If she were to lose the bout, Tellez wouldn't get the titles. But here we are. It seems like it's a ongoing song. And sooner or later, we need to change that tune, people. We really do. Because it's not something that's popular. And it's not the example to be set properly. Want to take a quick moment and acknowledge who we got in the building. Del Real, out there early. Universal Truth is back with us. And Universal, I had written in my post page an acknowledgement for a donation that you made to my PayPal account the other day, where I didn't catch it before I went off the air. And if you wrote it in the chat, I'm sorry, I overlooked it. I didn't see it. So just be mindful for Stormy, because I'm always multitasking as I'm doing a show. I don't catch every single thing, and I try my best to be aware of things. But if I miss any of you who provide a donation or a tip or some type of contribution to the channel or the show, if I miss that during the live, I will write it on my post page to acknowledge you, because I want people to get the acknowledgement. I want them to know that their name is acknowledged, and we set that type of precedent here on this channel. So just explaining myself a little bit there. Chilltown is in the building. Columbia is back with us. And Stephen L. LeMac, my brother, is out there. Black Martial Arts Society is in the building this evening. What's good with you? Happy New Year to you all. And Forged Y2T is in the building saying, watching from the UK, Stormy B Man, thumbs up. Hey, I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. And I hope that you find your visit here welcoming, because Stormy B Man likes to try to talk the sport of boxing the X's and O's, the breakdowns, without any foolishness, and try to give it straight with no chaser, man. That's what we do over here. And as I've stated earlier in this broadcast, we like to speak on both the men and women's division of the sport. I don't talk too much about gossips, and don't get into the fighters' personal lives and such. We try to keep it about what's happening in the ring and about the health and well-being of the fighters. So, again, I thank you for tuning in. Smash the like button as you come into the building. We would normally be broadcasting across a couple of my channels, but this evening we're solo on the Stormy B-Man main channel, which is okay. But I will upload to Rumble after the show has processed. So, the month of January for 2026 is kicking boxing off with a bang, huh? Like I said, this weekend we've got Serrano with her promotion that's going on, and she's doing a great job with MVP, having not only an outstanding card that will feature fighters across many divisions in this particular promotion, but she's got some really good stuff going with the women of boxing on this card. There's about 4 fights, if not 5, covering women's boxing on this particular card, with Serrano and Tellez being the main event. But also on here we have Stephanie Han, who is a 35-year-old fighter, a lightweight, taking on the 44-year-old southpaw Holly Holm from Mixed Martial Arts, who is now boxing on a more frequent and regular basis. Holm's last boxing match was in June, where she had a unanimous decision win over Yolanda Vega. So Holly is not a stranger to the sport of boxing, but Stephanie says that she's here to put her undefeated record on the line and to handle Holm. She's 11-0 with 3 KOs. Like I said, she's 35 years of age, and she's fighting out of El Paso, Texas, looking to show Holly Holm a trick or two. And who knows how it's going to turn out. She's 5'7.5". Holly is 5'8". So Han's last fight was an August 2025 match against Paulina Angel, and she won a unanimous decision there. So we've got a fight here. I saw the weigh-ins this afternoon, and Han says that, hey, she's looking to really step to it and show Holly she's the better fighter. We'll see. We'll see. But before I start talking too much about the MVP promotion, which will be tomorrow night, I want to go ahead and mention something else about the month of January and fights that we have ahead of us. Do not overlook the fact that we have some tremendous matchups. And a lot of it will be broadcast on DAZN, We're talking, if you look ahead, the following week, the 10th, we have a matchup where Alexis Rocha is returning to the ring, and he's going to be fighting in a card that'll be broadcast on DAZN as well. DAZN has really cornered the market with boxing. I'm sorry, it's not going to be on the 10th. It'll be on the 16th with Rocha and his card, as he takes on Raul Curiel in a rematch. These two fought a tremendous fight in a previous meeting, and they've decided to do it again. There's nothing wrong with fighting rematches. People need to understand that. Sometimes you can get better matches when guys face each other a second time around, because what happens is you're a little bit more familiar with the person and kind of know what to expect from them, and proper adjustments going forward is what will make or break the situation for you. So that's going to be a very interesting situation there. 1 second as I pull some information up. When they fought back in December of 2024, it was a majority decision draw. And at the time, the NABF welterweight title and the WBO NABO welterweight title was on the line. So it'll be the same for this particular fight. I see I got that choppiness coming in again, but it'll straighten out, people. So just bear with me. Just bear with me. This is something, since YouTube made an adjustment to our broadcast, we're running into this a little more. Troll Slayer, what's good with you? Salute to you. Curiel was undefeated when he faced Rocha in their last outing. Rocha has 2 losses on his record, 1 stoppage. The stoppage happened in October of 2023 against Giovanni Santillan. He was stopped in 6 rounds. That was considered an upset at the time. And he was down twice in the 5th and once in the 6th before the count was waved off. His earlier loss was back in 2020 to Rashidi Ellis, where he lost a unanimous decision. And that was for the WBC Intercontinental welterweight title, which was vacant at the time. Rashidi has been on the smaller fight circuit. He hasn't been fighting televised matches on these apps or whatever. I don't think he's with a solid promoter at the time, which could be something that holds you back. So he's looking to do better. But Rocha is out there. He's trying to do his best. He's trying to get back into the title hunt. We'll find out. See, they playing with the screen, man. My analytic page tells me that everything is healthy, but you can hear the choppiness. So, and that's not on my end, people. It's not. It's on YouTube's end. Because sometimes now, even when I'm listening to different content, I hear that glitch in there in the audio, and I'm like, man, what the hell is really going on? And it's been ever since they changed a page for us that it's been this way. what it is. I could try to turn down my bit rate as I've done before, but it has nothing to do with my bit rate. It's them. People out there, man, just going into the new year with their foolishness. So that Curiel and Rocha fight will be Friday. January 16th. Anybody interested in that fight, just remember it's on a Friday. And they're fighting Palm Springs. So, be in the evening. Shoreside in the U.S. Both men are facing one another in a typical Orthodox versus Southpaw outing. Curiel, who's 30 years of age, record is 16-0 with the one draw against Rocha. Rocha is 25-2 with the one draw. Rocha is 28, and he's the Southpaw. Their height and reach are the same at 5'9" with 70-inch reach. That'll be interesting. So, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Del Rev, that'll be on DAZN. It's another DAZN broadcast. DAZN is going to be doing pretty much 80% of boxing going forward. A lot of the other promotional companies have made a partnership with DAZN, including PBC. Golden Boy is over there, but Golden Boy may be out because their contract goes up going toward the end of the summer or the midsummer. And, Golden Boy doesn't want to put Virgil Ortiz in against anybody good, like Jaron Ennis or whatever. And they're stalling things, so they have been told either step up to the plate or get left behind. Blue Blood did a video on that a few days ago. Salute to Blue Blood. He has sources that are keeping him in the loop on a lot of things, and he's one of the first to break that information on the airwaves. So Oscar just needs to step it up, man. We've seen former PBC fighters go over to the zone and have either partnered up with Matchroom or even Queensberry to get fights made. David Benavidez fought over at Riyadh Season, and he's formerly with PBC, but we'll see what he's going to be doing going forward. See, these kind of things, the moves that fighters need to make to keep their livelihood going, man. Some people just don't respect the sport enough to understand that you have to adjust with the times. Otherwise, you'll be left out. Yeah. You have to adjust with the times. Now, another of the fights that I was going to mention that's coming up on the 10th is a tremendous fight between world title holder Subriel Matias, also the dope man, because he popped dirty. But since he's a WBC fighter, they're going to cut him some slack as he takes on challenger from the UK, undefeated Dalton Smith. Now, Subriel currently has a record of 23 wins and 2 losses, 22 KOs. Dalton Smith is bringing his undefeated record of 18-0 with 13 KOs. He's fighting out of Sheffield, UK. Thunder is what they call him. Like, you remember Arturo Gatti, Thunder Gatti? Yeah. So he's hoping to get in against Matias, who will be fighting in Puerto Rico. No, he won't. Forgive me. I'm thinking about the fight that he lost. He'll be fighting in the Barclays in Brooklyn. Matias. The fight that he lost in Puerto Rico, forgive me, was when he lost his title to Liam Pero, the IBF. He lost a unanimous decision to Pero. Pero came in there undefeated and outsmarted and outwitted, outboxed Subriel. Subriel is a bully, and he looks to intimidate or bully his opponents. It's no surprise that he's getting the support of the WBC because Suleiman is a bully, He has been bullying his way through the sport of boxing with his false belts and false support and his false presentation to the observers of the sport of boxing. He is one of the most scummiest, if that could be a word, representatives as far as sanctioning bodies go in the sport of boxing. You know, the fact that they would even consider taking a title away from Amanda Serrano for how she has represented in the sport instead of making a provision for her, you see, so she could hold on not only to her titles until she retires, but to make the grade an example for showing that you stand behind the quality fighters in the sport. If that happened to be Canelo and he was a female and she was Mexican, he would let her have that title still and would open things up for 3-minute rounds and 12 championship distances. But see, it just goes to show that that creep is out here doing everything he can to stand alone and stand aside from everyone else in boxing, which is why the green belt has very little value or merit. You know what else is green? Vomit, Even when you use a emoji on this on your devices and the tech, you notice how they show the vomit to be green when someone's assimilated throwing up. That's what we need to do with the WBC. Just throw up and regurgitate the foolishness that they present us with coming out of that particular sanctioning body. Up theirs. Yeah. Corrupt people, scumbags, is what they are. Salute to Convos with Cam in the building. What's going on with you, Cam? Happy New Year to you. She says, salute Stormy and chat. Working in the AM. Check your PayPal when you have a moment. Blessings to all. Okay, I'm going to check the PayPal right now. Convos with Cam. Thank you for reminding me before you go. Okay. PayPal. Yeah, I have to. You guys have to remind Stormy B to check stuff. Because if you don't, I won't necessarily know to look. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, Cam, I got that. It says, appreciate your content, breakdowns, and perspective. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much for the donation, Convos with Cam. And before you leave, if you haven't left already, please drop your link in the chat for your channel for the support. Okay? Thank you so much for that donation. Thank you. Yeah. Ravens Nation in the building. What's good? Happy New Year to you as well. Black Martial Arts Society. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. See, anything nasty, huh, that comes out of the system, that's what that is. Huh? Suleiman can bathe in it for all I know. For what I do think about him, he probably does bathe in it, huh? That's why he's such a disgusting critter, huh? I won't even call him a human being, huh? Yeah. Get him out of here. What kind of foolishness is this dude on, man? Yeah. Yeah. Got me a new little image to play on my screen. Remember, I used to have one with Dimitri Bivol beating Canelo up. I've upgraded. Yeah. How about that, huh? That's what we got to do. We always got to promote the good stuff from boxing. And they mad, boy, that the establishment. Everybody mad that Bud is retiring and flipping them off the bird, huh? Good. He should leave on his terms. He should not be waiting around. What should I do now, boss? Huh? Nope. Only thing I'm sad about is he's leaving without his shoes, huh? Now, someone be clever enough to ask me, what does that mean, Stormy? I'll wait. There you go, Del Real. He says, what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you. Thank you for asking. He gets to leave without his shoes because he left them in Canelo's ass. Yeah. Now see, I was waiting on that one, huh? Yeah, they may as well bronze them things. You know how they used to get the little baby shoes bronzed? And they'd be like, oh, when you was 2 years old, this was your shoes. They could bronze after they pull them out of Canelo's ass because they're going to be brown anyway, huh? And then you could just take them in the Hall of Fame and put them in a glass case. Make sure it's real solid glass because it's going to stink, you know. But, yeah. You're welcome. Yep. Y'all had no idea, did you? Somebody can clip this and send that to Bud. He'll probably die laughing. But yeah. That's the only thing I'm sad about. Mm-hmm. I ain't watched that fight in a while. You probably think I watched it a lot. I've only seen it like twice, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. Yeah, my man passed away this week too, you guys, just before Christmas. I was so sad to hear that. My man that made this, I made this meme of him off of The Wire, you know. He passed away this week. R.I.P. to him and condolences to his family. Yeah. Yeah, you guys know coming up at the end of the month too is your boy Shitty Cuz. He gonna be taking on Tiafimo. But get prepared because you're gonna see this a little bit this month before that fight comes up. Shitty Cuz. I'm telling you, that's the perfect nickname for him, man. It's perfect. Cause he been shitty the whole time. He just been everything he say, everything that when he do an interview, it's just, you know what, you just want to grab toilet paper, huh? And clean up behind him. Del Real, I don't hope nothing for him. I really don't. You know, he's like a pain in the ass, huh? And you just want it to go away? Yeah, that kind of thing. That's right, Black Martial Arts Society. With friends like him, you're good. And the funny thing about this particular matchup, you can't root for either guy. Can they just go to the death? You know, a couple weeks ago on Pro Box, we had the double knockdown. Can we get a double knockout? You know? Bring two coffins. Be like Clint Eastwood when he walked into that town and he told that man making coffins, he's like, I need 3 coffins. And he walked up the street, told them rabble rousers, he said, I know that you guys were just having a good time, having some fun. He's like, but my mule, he don't get it. He don't understand. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, you know, everything will be squared away. They looked at him, dude, spit on the ground. Yeah, homeboy, you better get up out of here before we send you blazing. Man, Clint Eastwood lit them dudes up like a Christmas tree. Then he walked back toward the Undertaker and told him, I'm sorry, my bad. 5 coffins. That's one of my favorite scenes out of a Western, boy. He just walked over there. He told him, now, if you apologize like I know you're going to. So, yeah. 2 coffins. And even if we don't put the fighters in the coffin, maybe we could put their careers in there, huh? Mm-hmm. That bears, keep it real, as they say. I mentioned Matthias and Smith fighting on the 10th. But another card that's coming up on the 10th that is going to be a fight to watch will be the January 10th showdown between Moses Atuma and Jermaine Franklin. That's a heavyweight showdown that, hey, Franklin's getting this opportunity, man. He's going to have to step it up and put himself in a position. If he wants a world title shot, now is the time. Do not go in there with an opponent type mindset. Go in there with the mindset that, hey, this is your opportunity. I hope that he loses some weight. I'm talking about Franklin here. I'm hoping he loses some weight to come in better shape, because something tells me if he trims off about an additional 15 pounds or so, he can get in there and do some things, because he's a good fighter. He's not great. He's a good fighter. He's a good pro. And this kid is someone that they're trying to market and project. But he hasn't got to that point yet where I would consider him what they are all saying about him at this time. He's not there yet. Not according to my assessment. And even if he defeats Franklin, that doesn't mean he's there either. It will say more about Franklin than it does about him. Because Franklin has been in there against Dillian White himself. He's been in there against AJ. What do you want out of your boxing career? Do you always want to be a guy who was the opponent? Or do you want to transition yourself into being a contender? It can happen. but it starts with you. Salute to my brother, Junior the Truth in the building. Happy New Year to you. Junior the Truth coming in here trying to remind me of my childhood. Now see, I didn't come over there messing up your real estate, but you come in here first of the year starting off messing with Stormy B. So you know what that means. It's on and popping, huh? It's on and popping, huh? Yeah. So look here, Russell. When I get through with you, huh, you're gonna know that you've been in a storm. Just be looking for it, huh? Yeah. Ratchet since 91. Salute to you, bro. He says, I know I'm late. I just got home from work. Hey, man, Happy New Year to you, brother. And I'm glad to hear that you're working, huh? Because that means I ain't got to, send donations over there. Yeah. Junior says he's a solid heavyweight. I think Franklin can get in the heavyweight mix if he applies himself. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yep. He's like, yeah. Some of these guys, all they need is the right type of motivation, man. And they need sometimes a coach and a trainer to tell them, put your foot down and put your foot in their butt sometimes too, because letting these guys come in overweight, more than half of the heavyweight division are fighters who are out of shape. The only one who's in shape, really, that I could say is two fighters who have been in shape, and that's Deontay Wilder and Alexander Usyk. They fight around the weights where they should be. Everybody else is overweight, man. Overweight. Daniel Dubois fights between 245 and 250. He should be about 235. Anthony Joshua was campaigning at damn near 250, going up to 260 sometimes. He should be 235, 240. These guys need to cut their weight, man. But that's undisciplined to come in. Oh, and Joseph Parker, aside from him having his rich diet of the sea, that stuff, putting on all that excess weight, you're about 6'4". Why are you coming in damn near 270 pounds, brother? This ain't the NFL. Trim that fat off. Huh? All that excess. It ain't doing you no good. Freedom's March. What's good with you? I see you out there. Good evening. EJ in the building. What's happening with you, EJ? Yeah. EJ don't know how to write everybody's name and at them at one post, because everybody could see it, as long as you at them. He want to come in and speak to you individually, huh? Individually. Hey, man, how you doing, bro? What's your name, bro? Who's that over there, bro? Did I meet you before, bro? Good to see you again, bro. That's EJ. I'm gonna call him E Shakes. Huh? You know, you call him E Shakes because he's shaking everybody's hand. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Politician ass. How you doing? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? How y'all? How y'all? How y'all? Yeah. Can't y'all see that shit? It's like he coming in. As soon as he walk in the door, he's just shaking everybody's hands and shit. You got your drink in one hand, your sandwich in the other. You're like, damn, man, can't you see I'm occupied? Yeah. No, that's not an F plus, man. That's not an F plus. It's just it's an acknowledgement of how what's the word I'm looking for? How the word escapes me right now, but I don't want to say friendly, but that's not the term. But it's like you have a certain way of. And that's pretty cool. You know, everybody ain't like that, though. Everybody ain't like that. Some people, they'll sit up there, man, and you stick your hand out to shake it, and they be looking at you like, you know. They give you that Snoop Dogg look. You try to shake their hand or something. And you come in greeting everybody. They looking at you like this, EJ. They looking at you like, oh, here come this nigga. Here come this nigga. And y'all know, I ain't lying. That's how some people be, man. You could be as nice as pie to them. It don't matter, bro. They still gonna be a jerk. You be like, man, what's his problem? Now, if they was giving out some free chicken or something, then they be all, hey, what up, though? Hey, bro. Hey, you know, free chicken. What is it about chicken? Now, Dave Chappelle said something years ago, and I realized that he was kind of on to something. He said, now, y'all know that black folks and chickens are quite fond of one another. And you put a little grease in between them, and boy, you got something cooking, don't you? Cast iron skillet and flour and some seasoning, huh? Yeah, man. I don't know what make y'all go crazy over that chicken, man. I don't know what that is, but I don't know. Freedom's March is laughing too. Hey, man, I don't know what it is, bro. Got my monitor on. It's playing the zone fights random. Yeah, so this card between Utuma and Franklin is interesting. There's a couple of good fights on here. Willie Hutchinson, light heavyweight, is going to take on Ezra Taylor, who's undefeated. Now, Taylor, I've seen him before. He's 13-0 with 9 KOs. He's out of Nottingham, the UK. He's 31. They call him the Cannon. 13-0 with 9 KOs. His last couple of fights, Steve Woodhall and Troy Jones, he won those handily. But Hutchinson is a good fighter. You know, he's been the type of fighter that is just on the cusp of breaking out from the UK level of fighters. He's out of Scotland, you know, in the UK, and he lost a split decision to Joshua Buatsi back in September of 2024. And he defeated Craig Richards, who just won by knocking out Dan Aziz a couple of weeks ago. Nobody expected him to win that fight against Craig Richards, and he won a unanimous decision. So he's a, you know, UK level guy. He's at the top of the level, but he's just been missing being able to break that threshold to cross over to it being international. If he defeats Taylor, he's about ready for that next step, I believe. Salute to Joe Townsend in the building. Salute to you, bro. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. He says, at a college basketball game, wanted to stop by and show love. Hey, I appreciate that, Joe. Hey, what game you at? Or if you don't want to say, that's fine, because, you know, I'm not trying to expose where you are. I was just wondering what team. But you don't have to say if you don't want to. Let's see here. We got a Cash App donation by EJ in the building. Let's see what we got. He says, you got me rolling, Sensei. Appreciate that, EJ, man. Thank you. First donation of the year. No, second, because it was Combos with Cam who came out first. I have to make that acknowledgement. Combos with Cam was first, you the second. Thank you guys for your donations, man. Thank you. I really appreciate those who are showing a little love with the donations, man. It really helps. It really goes a long way. You know, I'm trying to do some positive things. It helps. So yeah, that Hutchinson fight, that's a good fight with he and Taylor. Then there's another featherweight title fight with Liam Davies taking on Zach Miller. Now those are two UK UK fighters. Davies is now 17-1. And he lost a split decision back in November of 2024 to Shabazz Masood. And he bounced back with a win over Kurt Walker. Now he's taking on Zach Miller. Miller is 17-1, but only has 3 KOs. So, interesting thing about these UK fighters, when they have low percentage knockouts, that doesn't mean they can't punch. I figured that out about these guys. Oftentimes, their low knockout percentages is because they spend a great deal of time trying to box and, stay clean and stuff like this. But every once in a while, when these guys get into exchanges and stuff, that's when you see some interesting stuff happen with these UK fighters. Yeah, DJ, I got that from the Rumble too. I did. I think I said something on the air while I was live during the broadcast. I did see that. Thank you for that over there as well. These people messing with my audio again. See how it's choppy? It's like it was clear, then choppy, then it's clear, it's choppy. I haven't done anything. That's them. Del Riv, you say you never noticed what? Till I said something. Never noticed what? See, now it's clear again. Audio's clear again. That's these people, man. See, they do that. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you the Jedi mind trick. They do that, and you guys listening to it, you be like, oh, I'll come back, when Stormy's clear or something. And they hope that you leave my stream. This is what they do. They can't just take me down because I ain't made no violations. But this is them. Yeah, Del Riv, that's true. I see this, and it comes from me watching. Remember I tell you guys, watch boxing? I watch these UK fighters. I watch the American fighters. I watch the guys from Australia. I watch the guys from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Scotland, Germany, when I'm able to see those fights, because sometimes the Germany fighters, they're not always on the air. Even the fighters who are fighting now out of Canada, they're starting to have them on the air a lot more, like Christian and Billy and guys like that. But I'm telling you, the UK fighters, you can't sleep on the punching power. When Anthony Kakachi took on Joe Cordina, nobody thought he had that kind of punching power to knock out Joe Cordina, and he upset Cordina with a knockout. And I think he only went into that fight with like 8 knockouts or something like that. Knocks Cordina out over in Monte Carlo, and it's like, oh, wow. Now he has fought a couple of times since defeating Cordina, and he has stopped other guys. I'm like, this guy can really punch. It's just that he wasn't trying to knock people out. Yeah. And for you guys that came in late, the reason I'm not live on Rumble, but I will upload this to Rumble, is because when I hit the live, it didn't connect for some reason. I have to do a test after my stream or when I get some time to test the waters of why it's not linked up. But I'll still be able to upload this stream just like I did my last night's stream. It took a long time to process too, because I thought I was going to be able to upload it this morning, but it wasn't until this late afternoon that I was able to upload it. But I will upload what's not multi-streaming to the other channel of Rumble. I will upload it. So, but yeah, that's a good fight. We're going to see these two guys mix it up. Liam Davies and Zach Miller. They're 28 and 29 years old. Davies is 29. Miller is 28. We'll see what happens. I bet you that turns into a dog fight, though. I bet you. Potential fight of the card type matchup. There's a middleweight fight on the card between Shaquille Thompson and Brad Pauls. Now, those are two guys I'm not familiar with, but Thompson is 15-0. I think I've seen him fight once, maybe twice. Brad Pauls I haven't seen. I have seen, but he's 20-2 with one draw. And he lost to Denzel Bentley. That's the fight I saw him fight. And then he fought Nathan Haney twice. I saw those fights. Shaquille Thompson is kind of stepping up in this type of situation. He's a southpaw, 6'3", kind of a wide stance. This guy's got some range to him. He's 28 years of age, 15-0 with 11 KOs. They call him Dr. Steele. He's probably going to go in there and try to knock Brad Pauls out. We'll see if Pauls cooperates with him, because though he has 2 losses and 1 draw, he hasn't been stopped. And they call him the Newquay Bomb. So he fights out of Newquay in the UK. This is a middleweight fight. We'll see. And Haney, who lost to Pauls and had a draw with him, he's fighting also on the card at middleweight, and he's taking on a gentleman by the name of Jerome Warburton. I don't know that guy at all, but he got a big old afro on his box rec picture. We'll see. Yeah, Haney got stopped back in July of 2024 by Brad Pauls. I keep telling you, these guys, the knockout ratio is like, it's kind of low, but then, boom, they get up there and they start stopping guys. I'm like, man, it's quite entertaining when it happens like that. So those fights that I've mentioned for the Ituma and Franklin card, those are kind of the ones, the boxing matches to be looking out for, guys. So that'll be Saturday, January 24th. So keep your eyes peeled for that. getting back to that Matias and Dalton Smith fight, the undercard of that fight, there's a couple of fights on there. A super lightweight matchup, WBO, NABO super lightweight, and WBO intercontinental super lightweight titles between Alfredo Santiago, and Henry Cedeno. It's probably going to be the co-main event. And Subriel and Dalton Smith will be the main event. But our brother and friend to the community, Keith Colon, is fighting on that card. And that'll be this coming Saturday, January 10th. Keith Colon is going to be taking on Alberto Guevara. And Keith now is 8-0 with 8 KOs. He's 23, nicknamed Tsunami. And this guy he's taking on has 28 fights. Guevara, he's 28-8 with 13 KOs, and he's 35 years of age, out of Mexico. So it's going to be a Puerto Rican-Mexico matchup for Keith Colon. Show that brother some support by showing up to that fight for him or tuning in. Yeah, so that'll be brother Keith. Now moving on to the fight card that's going to be with Serrano and Tellez. Very interesting fight for Serrano because we'll see how her focus is, because this is not whom she was originally scheduled to face. I mentioned this several times over. It was supposed to be Erica Cruz in a rematch of a fight that they had before. But Cruz popped dirty. She fought Cruz back in February of 2023 and won a unanimous decision when she was undisputed with all the titles. But Cruz fought very hard in that fight and worked her way back to a #1 spot, but then she pops dirty. So it's very unfortunate that that ended up happening. But hey, who knows? It could be a stroke of luck for Amanda, because maybe Tellez is going to try to fight hard. But as I said, Tellez can't win the title because she didn't make weight. Once again, fighters, not making weight, man. Straight across the board, it's just ugly. It's very ugly. We need fighters to make weight, man. I made my breakdown video on this already. to see a lot of women on this particular card. One fight in particular on this card, outside of the women, that may be worth checking out is a super featherweight battle between Henry LeBron and Juan Tapia. These super featherweights are going to get it on, and it's scheduled for 8 rounds. But LeBron, out of Puerto Rico, has a record of 20-0 with 10 KOs. He's looking to put himself in a position to, be on world class because he's kind of local, fighting out of Puerto Rico. Now, Juan Tapia is 14-4 with 5 KOs, but he's 32 years of age. He fights out of Brownsville, Texas. So it's time for these guys. LeBron is 28. Tapia is 32. The super featherweights are always interesting because sometimes they have that speed and power that makes their fights fast-paced. Always good to see these guys. It's a huge undercard too. Another featherweight bout on the card will be Jean-Paul Rivera taking on Alfredo Cruz. These are 2 Puerto Rican fighters, 24 and 28 years of age, and is scheduled for another 8-rounder. We'll see what happens. But Rivera, he has a record of 13-0 with 7 KOs. He's looking to bring it. Now, one of the women's bouts that I was trying to tell you guys about, because I said there's like 4 women fights on this card. Crystal Rosado taking on Tanya Walters. This is a 6-rounder. Now, Walters is out of Canada. Rosado is out of Puerto Rico. They're close in records, but not in age. Rosado out of Puerto Rico is 23, and Walters is 38. Rosado's record is 7-1 with 2 KOs, and Walters brings her record of 7-3 with 2 KOs. Her nickname is Tank. Interesting. They are bantamweights, so they're under 120 pounds. Good fight, though. They're going to mix it up. We'll see. We will see. Another super featherweight bout is going to have some young men, Yandiel Lozano and Janiel Ramos Cotto. These two guys are young, just turning into the pros, and they're scheduled for a 6-rounder. So I expect some fireworks between the two of them, because Cotto has 5 fights and Lozano has 2 fights, but they're both 19 years of age. So you know that these two are going to step in there and be trying to prove their wares. The fights will be on YouTube, DAZN's YouTube channel, and then the main card will be on DAZN. Yeah. We will also see the return to the ring of Ebony Bridges, who's been out of boxing for 2 years, raising a child with Kell Brook, believe it or not. Kell Brook, I hope you're hungry. I hope you're ready. He's been giving Ebony Bridges chocolate brownies, and now they got a little bitty brownie, Yeah, Kell Brook. That's what's up, bro. Yeah. So Ebony is coming back out for 2 years. Her last fight was against Mayo Yoshida, where she lost a unanimous decision. Yoshida kind of whooped her ass in that fight. I remember watching it. December of 2023. That's where she lost her title. And she's going to take on Alexis Areza from U.S. Now, Areza lost her last fight, which was back in July of 2025, against Naniel Rodriguez, a unanimous decision. So something's got to give between these two ladies. Bridges is 39. Areza is 35. We'll see what's going to happen, man. They're fighting at bantamweight. Now, you guys know that before Kell Brook, Ebony used to come to the weigh-ins in those little nightgowns and stuff, negligees and teddies and everything. And I think Kell Brook, got a little stardust in his eye, So he snatched Ebony up. And the rest is their story. Yeah. So she's coming back. She's 2 of, I think I said 4 fights on the card here of women. Yeah. Now, a fight that could be the co-main event is a former Olympian, this kid Yankiel Rivera. He's taking on Jonathan Gonzalez. Now, Gonzalez is a Puerto Rican fighter who has a big record. Like you heard me talking about Keith Colon, talking about an experienced fighter he's facing on the undercard of Atuma and them. Listen, on the undercard of Matias and Dalton Smith. But Jonathan Gonzalez has a record of 28 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 14 KOs. And he's going to take on Yankiel Rivera, who's 28. And he's going to be fighting in his 8th pro fight. But he's supposed to be pretty good. Good young prospect. He's 7-0 with 1 draw, 3 KOs. Little bitty dudes too, man. Because Yankiel is 5'3" and Jonathan is 5'2". So there's some little bitty munchkin hobbit type dudes, man, fighting at flyweight. The hobbits. Yeah. Little bitty short mugs, man. But hey, it is what it is. Make you guys laugh, huh? But hey, listen, man, you got some fights, man. I'm telling you. I'm just glad. I'm excited for boxing in 2026, man. I really am. Deontay Wilder may be getting a title shot against Alexander Usyk sometime this year. That's good stuff. Man, my allergies have really kicked in since I went live. That's why you guys keep hearing me clear my throat. Now my nose is starting to itch. The third of 4 women's fights on the card is Holly Holm taking on Han, Mrs. Han. Huh? Yeah. Stephanie Han. In a lightweight bout that sees these 2 women. I talked about them at the opening of the show, so I'm not going to repeat myself when it comes down to the 2 of them. But I expect that to be a competitive match. I expect it to be competitive. Yep. And of course, the main event, Amanda Serrano. We'll see what happens. Maybe Serrano will get a knockout. I know one thing. Reina Tellez is a short woman, and Serrano may be able to take advantage of that big time. And she may get a little extra just because she didn't come in and make weight. At 5 foot even to Serrano's 5'5.5", hey, I think she gonna get it put on her. And Serrano's geek to be fighting in front of her home people, you know. So that's probably what's gonna happen. Yeah. So that'll be it for tomorrow night's fights, you guys. I'll be tuning in. My beloved sport of boxing. Yeah, so we're coming to the roundup of this evening's show, you guys. Um, I'm just glad to be able to come to you and present the show as I've done. I want to say once again, Happy New Year to everybody. Um, I try to do my best, you know. I really do. You guys don't know how tough it is for me sometimes. And then sometimes when you factor in my health issues, but I try. I try to do my best, you guys. So just know that this is not me just coming on the air like, oh, I'm on again, I'm live. No, I try to put together stuff. You see all the images I showed you of the fighters, their posters and stuff. I had to go and collect all that stuff to put it in, you know, make a presentation for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, all these handsome good looks, that's not special effects. You know, that's real shit. You know, and if I get my beauty rest, I can come up here and look halfway decent. If I don't get my beauty rest, then it's fucked up. So with that being said, I'm going to get on out of here. I want to say Happy New Year to you once again. And share the content, man. We had a few jokes on here tonight, some good ones. That one about Bud's boots in Canelo's behind, that was real good. Y'all wasn't ready for that one. I knew it, so I was like, yeah, I might have missed my calling as a comedian. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy the fights tomorrow. Peace.